shoot now.
Welcome to Channel 18. My name is Paul Coughlin, and my guest today is Wil Remillard, the Director of Veteran Services for the town of Harwich, and also a member of the Barnstable Veteran Services Organization, and the former Director of the Fire Department here in Harwich. So welcome to Channel 18, Wil. It's been a couple of years since you've been here, and we're anxious to find out what you do.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on. I'm happy to be here, Paul, and I appreciate you asking me on.
Very good. It's our pleasure.
And as you indicated, I work for the Barnstable District Department of Veteran Services. I am the Veteran Service Officer. I cover an area from Harwich pretty much to Wellfleet. In the Barnstable District, we have several offices. We're staffing one in Provincetown now, twice a week, and that covers pretty much Truro and Provincetown. We have our main offices in Hyannis, and we have offices that are open part-time in Bourne, in Sandwich, and in Wareham. Veteran service offices in Massachusetts are pretty unique in the country. We are established by a Massachusetts general law, and we work under a Massachusetts general law, Chapter 115, to aid and assist and advise veterans and help them to file claims with the Department of Veterans Affairs or with the state, and we do that through the town or a district. Primarily, we assist veterans in an application for veterans benefits. Benefits are most often come from the federal government through the Department of Veterans Affairs, also known as the VA. And we also provide veterans with benefits through the Massachusetts Department of Veterans Services, and those are state benefits, and we'll talk about those a little bit later. I think the best way to start is to go through the VA, or the Department of Veterans Affairs benefits first, because they comprise most of all of our actual financial eligibility benefits. In the County of Barnstable, we just had a conference last week and learned that the work dollars that come back to this county are in the neighborhood of $50 million wow. from the VA alone. Boy. And so that gives you some idea of the benefit of what our work is in assisting the veterans. It's important to note that the Department of Veterans Affairs themselves cannot really assist veterans in developing their claim and providing evidence and the like. So they could take a claim from anyone without the assistance of a service officer. But the service officer has been trained to know how to develop a claim, establish and bring forth evidence to support the claim and carry the claim through till its decision. And that's primarily what we do. VA claims come in the form of compensation, which is generally from a service-connected disability. And service-connected disabilities go anywhere from 0% to 100%. And these are injuries, illnesses, or the like that have been incurred in the service and that are troubling to the veteran to the present day. Any service-connected disability with a rating of 10% or greater has a monthly compensation benefit ranging from $129 at 10% to near $3,000 at 100%.
That's quite a bit.
It is. And we also apply for VA benefits for veterans with very low income. The compensation benefit, I want to say, for service-connected disability does not require a means test or a test of what your finances are, your income and your assets. Most all of the other benefits do require a means test. So we will have to review and provide evidence of what income you have and what assets you have to get you to any low-income benefits especially. So a VA pension, a non-service connected VA pension, would be a low-income benefit. An example would be a veteran who is on a low Social Security income only. That's his only source of income, his or her only source of income. And say it's $900 a month. We can provide a VA pension for a wartime veteran that would bring that up to somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,200 a month. So it's a small amount, but it's certainly a help. We also provide low-income benefits for widows and for patients who may be over income but have high medical costs. Okay? And some of those are called aid and attendance, and people may hear about aid and attendance on the outside. We also have a lot of veterans coming in and seeking help with medical care. And the VA, Department of Veterans Affairs, the federal government, will provide medical care for qualified veterans, and we help them apply for that. All of the benefits have to be applied for, and they have to be applied for properly, and that's pretty much what we do, is assist veterans in applying. Now, the VA medical care is not insurance. It's actual hands-on medical care. There's a clinic in Hyannis that our veterans go to, and most of our southeastern Massachusetts veterans go to the VA Medical Center in Providence, the hospital in Providence. We have a few that go to the Jamaica Plain and West Roxbury because they may have started out there and their records may be there. But all of our veterans are directed to go to the Providence Medical Center. So other things that come up with the VA are specific service-connected disabilities. They range from anything from hearing loss and tinnitus to post-traumatic stress disorder. And there's specific categories for some benefits. Right now, our largest population of veterans are Vietnam veterans. Massachusetts has 435,000 veterans in the state. Wow. 166,000 of those are Vietnam veterans, and they're all coming to the age where they are in need of some form of assistance. A lot of them coming in for medical care. And we find that they may have some illnesses that are related to their service, specifically in Vietnam, that you may recall talk about Agent Orange.
Orange, yes, that was very popular.
And there are some 14 illnesses that are presumptive to Agent Orange exposure for any veteran of Vietnam who had had boots on the ground in Vietnam. And we have to develop that case, and we have to develop and get the facts to the VA that prove that the veteran actually was in Vietnam with boots on the ground and was exposed to Agent Orange. And there are such common illnesses related to that as type 2 diabetes and ischemic heart disease, as well as a number of cancers.
Wow.
And including the prostate and lung cancers.
Oh, that's quite a...
So any of the Vietnam veterans who are experiencing that kind of unfortunate medical illness should absolutely come and see me.
Right.
And we'll try to take care of that. We also deal with medical or service records. We can, if a veteran doesn't have his service records, we can get them for them. We can get corrections to service records if need be, upgrades in medals requests, and things of that nature. The VA also provides home loan guarantees, and what's often asked question is, did they provide loans? And the answer is no. They do not provide an actual home loan. They do provide a guarantee for qualified veterans, and many of the banks, not all banks, or not all mortgage companies, participate in the VA home loan guarantee program. So you have to have an institution providing the loan that participates in the program. Okay. And that's often a moving target. A bank might participate this year and not 3 years from now.
Once they participate, though, they're in, is that it?
Generally, yes.
Good.
There's also the GI Bill, which is the educational benefit provided by the federal government through the VA. And We do have a number of veterans coming in asking about educational opportunities, and we steer them in the right direction. That's all handled through Buffalo. Most often, if you're going to a college such as Cape Cod Community College, there's a person in the college administrative office who knows all about GI Bill and how to apply for that benefit. So we don't get a lot of the detail application for the GI Bill, but we do steer them in the right direction. The VA also provides burial benefits for deceased veterans. We have, fortunately on Cape Cod, we have the Bourne National Cemetery, and veterans are qualified to go there. And it's often a misnomer. Some veterans feel that the definition of veteran means you have had to participate in a foreign war, and that is not the case. And anyone who served a number of days in the service and has an honorable discharge is a veteran, and they're entitled to go to, for instance, Bourne National Cemetery. And the National Cemetery provides a beautiful spot, of course, and also they provide the military honors service right there, and that's all free of charge once you get inside the gate. If a veteran is buried in a local cemetery, like here in Harwich or anywhere, at a private plot, they will still provide military honors, and as well as a small grave marker. You may have seen a granite or bronze flat marker that's level with the ground that provides the veteran's name and dates and branch of service and things like that. And that's provided free of charge as well. The burial and the military honors are often provided through your local funeral director, and the reason for that is, for instance, I work part-time, 3 days a week, Tuesday through Thursday, and the funeral directors are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Yeah. They have all the direct contact numbers for Bourne National Cemetery and the military honors, and they can get that done, and they're used to doing that, and they do a terrific job. What I do advise veterans is if you know who's going to be your funeral director, then go and see him and bring him a copy of your DD-214 or your discharge papers so that they'll have that on file, because they'll need that to get any of that work accomplished. And that's a big help to everyone. So that covers most of all the VA benefits. There's a lot of little things that go off of each one of those items. That's what the VA or the federal government provides.
No, I have an eye problem.
Correct.
And that's how I first met you.
Okay.
In town, and you helped me fill out the forms and apply for it. And I'm scheduled sometime this year to go back to West Haven to go for the computer training.
Oh, good.
So that's a very interesting service, and one that I found to be very useful.
It is, yeah.
So do you have many who are involved in that?
I just had one other veteran in Harwich who came back from that program, and I'm sure there are more out there who don't realize that it's available, but it is available to veterans with sight impairment, yes. And they provide special computer programs and computers and different devices that you can use. Technology is of course, always improving, and there are devices that they'll provide you with, right. Free of charge, that will help you cope with your impairment. Right. And they do the same for hearing impaired people as well. There are certain special items they can provide for the veteran once we get them in the healthcare system and get them determined to be service connected for their disability or whatever.
Now, mine wasn't service-connected.
But that's true, too. Sometimes that's true.
Sometimes,
yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
But you have to get in the healthcare system.
Yes, and that you can do that through a claim.
And we'll help you through that process.
Very good.
Yeah. So the other institution I mentioned up front was the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Veterans Services under the direction of the Secretary Coleman Nee. And they provide several benefits. We have war bonuses. Any veteran who was in a war and returns, and he was residing in Massachusetts when he entered the service, is entitled to a war bonus of a few $100s, up to $1,000. And in the present conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan, they're entitled to, where more often you see redeployments, they're entitled to multiple redeployment bonuses as well. And we like to see the new veterans coming back to make sure they take advantage of those bonuses. And any veteran who is 100% disabled is entitled to an annuity from the state. The annuity is in the amount of $2,000 a year. It comes out twice a year in $1,000 increments. So that's for a veteran who is 100% service connected, and it also applies to Gold Star parents, okay, and children. And
how does that work?
We have to apply, and if the VA has rated the veteran at 100% service connection, and then the veteran is entitled. If the veteran should die and he has a spouse, and the cause of death is due to a service-connected disability, then we'll apply, and most often we're successful in getting that annuity for the widowed spouse or the surviving spouse.
Oh, that's only $2,000, is that right?
Yeah, but that's on top of the 100% service connection that he's receiving,
Okay.
probably close to $3,000 from the VA, the federal government, each month already. It is a bonus that the state provides.
Okay.
Okay. And any veteran who is 10% or greater service connected and certified by the VA in Massachusetts, they will receive a real estate tax abatement in their town. If they should own a home, for instance in Harwich, and they have between 10 and 100% disability, they will receive an abatement from the Board of Assessors in the town of Harwich. And that comes through the state law as well. And that's a nice little benefit. It's not a whole benefit. It's in increments, usually from $400 to $1,000 in abatement.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
No.
Veterans of Massachusetts, of course, you may have seen, they have special license plates. There's several available. Some of them are free. Purple Heart, Silver Star, a Bronze Star, and POW and Pearl Harbor, I believe, are free of charge. So there's no charge at the Registry of Motor Vehicles for those. But regular veterans plates, you'll see, there is a charge for those. And some of the charge for those plates actually goes to the veterans' home in Chelsea and Agawam.
That's a good place.
Yeah. And once again, the veteran will need his discharge papers or his DD-214 to apply to the registry for those special plates. And if they don't have them, come see me and I'll help them get that discharge paper. Now, a benefit that the state provides as well is financial assistance for below poverty level veterans. And it's interesting the way this benefit is applied. What's a low income or below poverty level veteran? In general, it's for an individual. It's someone who is earning under $1,895, or say $1,900 a month. For a couple, it would be a couple that's earning less than $2,600 a month. Okay? So a single person, $1,895 or $1,900, and a couple is $2,600. If your income is below that, come and see me. I may be able to help you. They also look at a person's assets. So your income may be below that, but if your assets are above $3,200 and $7,000 for a couple, $3,200 for an individual, $7,000 for a couple, then we'll have to work on spending down assets in order to get the benefit on the income base. and it's a good benefit, and the financial assistance actually comes directly from your local town. So if the veteran lives in Harwich, a check would be cut by the local Harwich treasurer, and then it would be reimbursed. 75% of that would be reimbursed by the state when they receive the cherry sheet each year. So it's reimbursed 75%, but the town puts the money up front for the veteran, and that's a monthly benefit. And it ranges, I've had them everywhere from $10 a month to maybe $600 or so. Very often we can get the veterans benefit through the state that will cover a reimbursement of their medical insurance expenses. That would include their Medicare expense, which is generally $104.90, say a Medicare supplemental insurance, which is generally in the neighborhood of $183 to $186 a month, and a prescription advantage, which is around $31 a month. And if a veteran or a widow of a veteran qualifies, we will cover those expenses ordinarily.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's reimbursed, and we have to provide evidence that the veteran actually pays those bills each month in order to get those payments made to reimburse the veteran for those expenses. So that's in a large part what we do, covering the VA and the state and local benefits. And like I said, the satellite offices in Barnstable are in Hyannis on Falmouth Road, and we have a Bourne office in the community center in Bourne. The Harwich office is in the town hall, and I'm open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 9 to 4. We now have a Provincetown office that's open Tuesday and Thursday mornings, a Sandwich Mashpee office that's open Wednesdays in the afternoon, and a Wareham office that's open Tuesday and Thursday in the afternoons.
So now you say you're responsible from here to Provincetown?
Yeah, that's true. And since we opened Provincetown, most often the veterans who live in Truro and Provincetown use that facility, that office in Provincetown. Yeah, I used to work in both offices and travel back and forth.
Wow. Then
most of the folks who live in Wellfleet to Eastham, they can go to either office, really. But most from Wellfleet to Harwich usually come to the Harwich office. I think they like to go shopping or something while they're down here. And then from Dennis down to the Wareham Sandwich area, they go into the Hyannis office. Mm-hmm. Although I have a few veterans from Dennis that come over here because they live right on the line or something. That's not a big problem. So yeah, it's our mission to service veterans, and someone comes in the office, we don't turn them away. We try to find what benefit they might be entitled to. We assist them in doing their claim, providing the evidence to support their claim, and we'll even go to hearings with them if they have to go to a hearing with the VA on an appeal for a claim that's been denied, along those lines. And we're more than happy to help the veterans. That's why we're here. And don't be afraid to come in. A lot of veterans are pretty shy about coming in, and just come on in and have a conversation, and we'll see if there's anything we can do to help you. And so we're here for you.
Yeah.
And I just want you to know that.
Well, that was a very complete explanation of veterans' benefits, and we appreciate the fact that you came here to get the message across.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to do the outreach.
Well, that's great. And you gave a lot of information there. There were several times I wanted to ask a question, but I said, well, you better stay back. He's going along pretty good. But you do provide wonderful service. I'm a beneficiary of your service, and I appreciate what you've done for me. So veterans out there, Do you have a phone number that you can?
Yeah, at the Harwich office, it's 508-430-7510. And the Hyannis office, 508-778-8740. And the Hyannis office is our central office. They'll get you in touch with any of the satellite offices that you need to, because they're all part-time. Hyannis is open full-time, Monday through Friday. So they can be a direct contact or a contact in the event of emergency and you can't get through. And about the telephone, very often you'll be leaving a message,
Yes.
and I will return your messages. If I'm with a veteran, or if I'm not in the office, of course I can't answer the phone. If I'm with a veteran and we're going over the details of a claim, I often won't answer the phone and let it go to message, but I will return your call and try to help you out.
Well, thanks again for that very detailed and very informative information. And for all you
Thank you.
veterans, it's you ought to play this over again just to be sure that you got what applies specifically for your needs. So I hope that you will do that, and thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me again.
Not at all.
Appreciate it.